Hi, PerspectiveWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, March 30th. A nice day today here in the Mid-Atlantic region and the Northeast U.S. It is a chilly morning, but afternoon temperatures should climb well up into the 60s in many parts of the I-95 corridor region between D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. The breeze will pick up a little bit, but not nearly as windy as it was on Monday to start the new week. However, the weather goes downhill after today. It looks like a soaking rain event is coming to much of the Mid-Atlantic region, really extending from the Tennessee Valley up across the Mid-Atlantic region into the northeastern part of the country later tomorrow into tomorrow night, and that all precedes a very strong cold frontal system that will usher in an impressive cold blast for the early part of April. Much colder air for Thursday and Friday in the Mid-Atlantic region, the Northeast U.S., and temperatures are quite likely to go back down below the freezing mark, even into the I-95 corridor region late Thursday night and probably again late Friday night. The late week unusual chill looks like it'll ease up over the upcoming weekend, and by the time we get to Sunday, Easter Sunday, probably pretty decent day in the Mid-Atlantic region. Let's take a look at the total precipitation expected by NOAA for the 3-day period going right into Friday morning. And pretty interesting, first of all, right off the bat, that the western U.S. is almost completely void of any rainfall here, just a little bit out of the Colorado Rockies, but substantial rainfall again over the Tennessee Valley over the next few days. This is a part of the country that does not need some more heavy rainfall. Unfortunately, they've had some flooding situation, and unfortunately we're going to get hit with some more heavy rainfall with this next system here at midweek, and it extends all the way up into New England. This also includes some precipitation on Thursday that across the interior part of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast U.S. could be in the form of snow, especially interior New England, up across interior New York State and interior Pennsylvania. This region right in here could certainly see some decent snowfall on Thursday. Even some snowflakes down into the I-95 corridor region all the way down to D.C. is a possibility early Thursday after the arrival of this very strong cold frontal system. Well, we talked yesterday about kind of a red flag being produced here by the teleconnection index known as the North Atlantic oscillation. This has to do with the pressure and temperature patterns way up over the North Atlantic, and what happens up there, especially this time of the year, can have an impact on temperatures across the central and eastern U.S., and indeed it is going down into negative territory over the next couple of days. It looks like it will stay in negative territory probably right into the middle part of April. This time of the year, that suggests there could be additional cold air outbreaks for the northeastern part of the nation, and another concern is that this usually is a favorable sign of what we call backdoor cold fronts, those kind of cold fronts that come in through the back door, as it were, from the northeast to the southwest across New England, for example. And these dreaded backdoor cold fronts can drop temperatures from the 60s to the 40s in a matter of several minutes in some cases, with a shift in the low-level winds out of the northeast. The ocean is still quite chilly this time of the year, with water temperatures in the 40s off the Jersey coastline, off of New England, and any kind of a northeast flow can drop temperatures quite a bit. And with NAO negative and staying in negative territory, I think that increases the chance for some backdoor cold fronts as we go through the first half of the month of April. Well, one of the other characteristics of a negative NAO, especially in the late winter, early springtime, is that it can result in a blocking pattern over places like northeastern Canada, Greenland, and that too is a kind of a favorable pattern, a favorable atmospheric situation for colder air masses to make it into the northeastern part of the nation. This is the 500 millibar height anomaly forecast maps from last night's 0Z run of the ensemble version of the GFS, and I want to focus in on this area right here. This is Greenland, northeastern part of Canada, with a trough as we begin the day here on Tuesday. But let's move forward here, and keeping in mind the negative NAO that's about to set up. Look at this starting to build here. These are higher heights than normal. correlated with higher pressure than normal situated over Greenland. They warm up, but when a blocking pattern starts to form in this part of North America, watch out for some cold air across the northeastern part of the nation. Indeed, we have this initial cold blast, very impressive cold blast coming in for Thursday night, Friday night. Again, temperatures down to below the freezing mark, both late Thursday night, late Friday night, even in the I-95 corridor region. This is the blocking pattern set up here by the early part of the upcoming weekend, and again, that's kind of a supported by a negative NAO. We'll move forward here, and it kind of sits around there. We'll just go forward. Look at this. This is a very, very strong block over Greenland. Greenland itself may get warmer than normal, but it can certainly lead to some cooler conditions in the northeastern part of the nation. We'll just move forward here. This is now into next week. We see kind of a continuation of this blocking pattern all the way here right into the middle part of next week. Could very well have some additional cold air outbreaks in the northeast part of the nation through the first half of the month of April. Well, let's now walk through the surface forecast maps from the operational run of the GFS at 0Z last night. Nice afternoon shaping up in the Middle Atlantic region, northeast U.S. Very chilly start. Temperatures down in the 30s, but with plenty of sunshine today. Clear blue skies in many parts of the Middle Atlantic right now. Temperatures this afternoon should climb to 60, maybe 65 degrees. D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. A nice day, but it will not last too long. Let's move forward here. The first thing I want to point out is by tomorrow morning we have increasing moisture. This is the Wednesday morning forecast map. Notice this increase in moisture over the Tennessee Valley, and again, this area has been hard hit by heavy rain. More heavy rain coming on Wednesday into Wednesday night in the Tennessee Valley, so certainly watch out for some localized flooding down there. Mild day on Wednesday ahead of this cold frontal system in the eastern part of the nation. The Middle Atlantic region should get back up to the middle 60s, for example, highs in D.C. and Philadelphia before the rains come in. And here we go, by tomorrow afternoon, the rains start to develop, and there certainly can be some heavy rain later tomorrow into tomorrow night in the I-95 corridor region throughout the Middle Atlantic region ahead of this frontal system. Canadian high pressure here by tomorrow afternoon, situated over the southern part of Canada. Let's move forward here. Low pressure forms right along that boundary zone late tomorrow night into early Thursday morning. Look at this changeover to snow according to the 0Z GFS model run. Interior sections of the Mid-Atlantic, interior sections of the Northeast U.S., even accumulating snow in these areas such as central and western PA, central New York, the higher elevations of West Virginia, and I think even snowflakes all the way down into the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor by the time we get to Thursday morning. Watch out for rain and or snow showers even into the immediate I-95 corridor region as that colder air starts to pour in. And then by midday Thursday afternoon on Thursday, very windy and cold for this time of the year. Unfortunately, it happens to be the home opener in Philadelphia, for example, Washington, D.C., New York City with the Yankees, and Boston. Boston very likely will get postponed until Friday, just because there's precipitation likely in Boston during the game time in the afternoon. But in Philadelphia, New York City, down to Washington, they certainly can play the game, I believe, as the precipitation will be pretty much over with. It can be maybe a lingering snow shower in the afternoon on Thursday, but it will be windy and cold. Winds certainly can gust up to 35, 40 miles per hour. Temperatures only in the 40s. A nasty day for baseball in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City on Thursday afternoon. Perhaps they'll postpone till Friday because Friday's an off day in most areas here. But again, this impressive late week cold blast arrives just in time for home openers of Major League Baseball on Thursday. And by Thursday night into Friday morning, temperatures below freezing, even down into the D.C. metro region. Same pattern may repeat on Friday. It's still kind of a windy and cold day on Friday. And again, temperatures likely to go below freezing even in the I-95 corridor region by the time we get to early Saturday morning. Then we get into the upcoming Easter weekend. Saturday, a little bit less harsh, certainly milder conditions on Saturday afternoon compared to Friday afternoon. And by the time we get to Sunday, a pretty decent day on Easter Sunday, shaping up throughout much of the eastern half of the nation, probably back to the 60-plus degrees, places like D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City for Easter sunrise on Sunday. So again, the good news is some milder weather over the upcoming week, and the bad news is we have a very impressive cold shot coming beforehand. Thursday night, Friday night. Could even be some accumulating snow interior, higher elevation locations in the Mid-Atlantic region, northeast U.S. on Thursday. Maybe even some snowflakes seen all the way down into the immediate I-95 corridor region early in the day on Thursday. And then the winds really pick up midday and afternoon. The strong winds continue right into Friday. That's it for now. For PerspectiveWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.